Little Soyeon was born into an ordinary family. Her father worked as a factory worker who couldn't even braid his daughter's hair properly. Her mother was a somewhat harsh stationery store owner who didn't get along well with her husband and constantly scolded him. Their daughter Soyeon was like a little angel who would still smile even when she was upset with her mother and would dance whenever she heard piano music. On this particular day, it was pouring rain. As she walked to school alone, she encountered a man without an umbrella who asked her to help share hers. Kind-hearted Soyeon agreed. That's when she was assaulted. Later, both parents received phone calls their daughter had been rushed to the hospital. In her dying state, she had managed to call the police herself. When her mother found her at the hospital, she broke down screaming. Her daughter was covered in blood, her face unrecognizable, with a huge bite mark on her right cheek. The doctor told the father that she would need a colostomy to survive, but the procedure was expensive. The father cried, begging them to save his daughter. After the surgery, when the father came to see her, the girl asked where her mother was. He said her mother was talking to the police. Crying as he spoke, the girl fell unconscious, and the father was so overcome with grief he could barely stand, leaning against the wall as he cried and walked away. When he went to the police station to inquire about the case, the officer said they had no evidence and needed Soyeon to identify the perpetrator. When the mother heard this news, she screamed angrily in the hospital because she knew how painful it would be for her daughter to see that man's photo again. A psychologist volunteered to help. The father brought Soyeon's favorite doll from home and gave it to the doctor. This doctor was special. She patiently guided Soyeon and then asked her to identify the criminal. Soyeon finally succeeded. Afterward, the psychologist gave her business card to the father, but the mother snatched it away, yelled at the doctor, and handed the card back. Soon the perpetrator was caught. The father ran all the way to the police station, but the police had cordoned off the area, and he could only shout frantically from behind the iron bars. The devastated father returned to the hospital when he suddenly received a phone call. The media had released the entire story, including his daughter's information. They were even outside the hospital at that very moment. The father immediately rushed back to find his daughter and moved her to a private room. On the way, they suddenly encountered reporters and had to take a detour, but the reporters still spotted them. The father picked up his daughter and ran, telling her as they fled that everyone was eager to help her. But in reality, the reporters just wanted to exploit their suffering. Below, blocking their path, was the helpless mother. Once they reached the private room, the daughter understood and asked her father through tears if she had done something wrong. Then she noticed her waist bag had leaked. Soyeon struggled in agony because no one had told her before how severely she was injured, and now she realized she could never be as healthy as she once was.